Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your day's going fantastic. I'm so glad you're joining me for another 5 Easy Step card tutorial. Well, today I have a fun project to share with you. Okay, we are doing a little altering and a little stretching our supplies, and we're using some fun items designed by Simon Hurley. We're gonna make this card. How cute is he? I love the little panda, and he is from the Simon Hurley Birthday Bear die set. Of course, this is the birthday die set. We're just going to switch out the greeting and create a just because card with this. We're not going to use the party hat or the present. I'm going to show you what we can do with those open arms. That's going to be really fun and really simple. Okay, so that we're going to be using this, and then also for my background and the little heart banner that we're going to create today, we're using the Simon Hurley Puffy Hearts embossing folder and stencil set. I do want to mention that this set was very popular. In fact, some places are sold out of it, but no worries, because there's two ways that you can still recreate this card if you don't have this one, okay? One option is a stamp set. You can go through any of your stamp sets, find some hearts, and then you can stamp 3 different color of hearts in your background. And then you can fussy get out your 3 little hearts here, or if you have the die set, you could do that. So that's one option. You don't need to use this. Another option would be die cuts. So if you want to fill your background with a bunch of hearts using die cut paper, green, yellow, blue, and then glue them down, you could do the same exact thing. So either way, it's going to look just as fabulous, I promise. So let's jump in and create a just because card using a birthday die set and stretching our supplies. We're going to start off with our step number 1, which means we need to create this cute little focal point. Oh, and I do want to mention that this Simon Hurley had actually created a stamp set that's really similar to this. It's called Birthday Hugs. I'll leave the video that I created with the stamp set at the end if you guys are interested in that. Because if you have the stamp set, you could basically do the same thing too. So let's jump in and get started with step number 1 and create our focal point. We're going to make a birthday card with this cute little panda. So I will do my die cutting and we'll get started. I went ahead and did my die cutting to make things a little bit quicker. And let's put together this cute little panda. First off, we have his hands. And there's pieces that go behind the hands. I'm going to add a little glue behind here. So I flipped this on the reverse side. And then we have these little pieces I cut out with gray. The example shows they're cut out with pink. But I think gray is going to work great for my card today, because it's going to be my card. I'm looking for a colorful background, so if I can have gray behind here instead of pink, I think it's going to work out better. So those little pieces go behind the little paws, and then we can add a little glue here and tack down this right over. Let's see, it goes this way. Tack this down right over the top. If you, let's see, I think this panda is, that's the body. And then let's attach the ears. The ears are these little pieces, making sure the right side up. You add a little glue, and then you can add the inside layer. I'm gonna flip it around. The inside layer goes here, and I'm upside down, and here. Those are kind of still far away, huh? Maybe it's just because they're itty bitty. And then we can add dots of glue here at the bottom, and then we can add our little panda ears, which are very easy to add, because those little hairs go right over them. So we'll add the black eyes first here, and we can add the black nose. And then there's the top piece to the eyes. Layering in them, that really does give a little dimension, which is nice. And then we have these little pieces that go around the eyes. Let me see. So we'll add a little glue here. And then you just layer these, covering up those eyes here. Give him a good press. He's coming together pretty quickly, huh? And now for his mouth, I die cut out his tongue pieces with red cardstock. And this is actually Spellbinders Merlot. And then rather than die cutting it out twice, I'm just going to take a marker. Let's take my 100, which is a black marker. And I'm just going to color this in. If you wanted to die cut this out with black cardstock, you could. But I think I'm just going to save a step and just use a marker. We'll add some glue here. And then we can add the inside of the mouth like this. Add a little more glue, and then we add the little tongue layer. Wonderful. And I want to rosy up my little panda's cheeks. And I always rosy up with my RV 000. And we're going to rosy up his cheeks a little bit. Now we add a little glue here. And we are going to add, you know, I like to tilt my little faces. So let's tilt him. We're going to tilt him this way. That's my cute little panda. Isn't he so sweet? Okay, I am going to do a second part to my panda. So he's not done. My focal point's not done. But I'm going to use an item from my background to finish him off. Okay, so we're going to come back to this guy. We're going to move along to step number 2 and create our home panel. For my home panel, I guess I can zoom back out now. Okay, for my home panel, I'm bringing in my Spellbinders Essential Diamonds. And I die cut out 3 that nested together. All I'm going to do with these is layer them all together. Let me use my tape runner here. And then this is going to be my home panel for today. I was thinking about doing it this way, but we'll see. So this will be my home panel. Now we're going to move along to step number 3 and create our greeting. We're going to bring back our die set. And in our die set there's a banner. If you wanted to make a birthday card with this, you could, but I'm going to make an everyday card because I want to have hearts in the background. So I'm just going to take the banner and I'm going to stamp a greeting using a stamp set. The stamp set I'm using is the one that I designed for Spellbinders. I'm using the Sending Sunshine Sentiment stamp set. I'm going to use Sending Sunshine and Smiles. Since we're heat embossing, I'm going to treat my paper with my anti-static powder tool. And then we're going to stamp our greeting on some waterfall cardstock. And then I'm going to go over it with some white embossing powder. And then I'll melt it. And then I'm going to cut this out with the banner that's in our birthday bear die set. Okay? We're just switching out the greeting, but you could very well use happy birthday or let's party. We'll put this with step 1 and 2, and now we're going to work on step number 4. That's where our puffy hearts come in. I'm super excited. I think we're gonna emboss first. Okay, and I'm going to emboss a half sheet of cardstock. Okay, look how fun this is. Oh my goodness. Even the backside's fun. Okay, so we have this embossed, and then there's the coordinating stencil that I just think is so lovely. I'm just going to shimmy it so it kind of fits in here. And let's use my magnets. I have 3 inks. I have Simon Says Stamp Sprout, Simon Says Stamp Surf, and Simon Says Stamp Zest. Okay, and so let's start off with our Zest. And we're going to add let's go over our hearts here. Okay, that's our first stencil. They are indexed on the bottom too. So this one here is stencil 3. And then let's go ahead and look how fun that looks. Okay, now we're going to add stencil 1. We're kind of going out of order, but okay, give it a little shimmy. And then we can make sure that these don't go anywhere. There we go. Let's go ahead and add our sprouts. Okay, that is our green. Let's go ahead and take a look here. I wish you could see how they pop up out of here. They're so neat. Okay, and then we'll add our final stencil, which is stencil number 2. Last color is our surf. And we will go over these. Lovely. And I think that looks so amazing. I think I should have sprayed, since it is a 3D embossing folder, I think maybe I should have sprayed my paper with water first, or alcohol, because I do have a crack here, but I think I can work around it. But I'm going to turn it this way, and then we're going to trim it down to an A2 panel. So I'll just trim this at 4 1/4, and we're already at 5 1/2, so this will be my background. And then with this one, I like to fussy cut. If you guys don't like to fussy cut, you could actually die cut out some hearts if you wanted to. But I'm going to die cut out, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to fussy cut out 3 hearts in each of the colors. I think that's a good one. Now I mentioned our little panda wasn't finished, so that's where these little hearts are going to come in. I'm going to bring in some white twine. Okay, and then I'm going to take the hearts and with some, well, maybe some, oops, and then maybe some small foam squares. I'm going to take some small foam squares, and then I'm going to attach my hearts to the twine. I want to separate these a little bit more so they're spaced a little bit better. There we go. Okay, so we have a little bit of spacing behind them. Okay, and then I thought we could have him be holding a little heart string, and because his hands are just so cute. So we'll just wrap them around his little hands, which are just adorable. Okay, and then I'm going to flip it over. And then we can secure the back of the string with some more foam squares. Okay, I think I'm going to keep the string long, and I did pop up the panda with extra foam squares. Okay, let's go ahead and add our home panel right down the middle. Now we'll go ahead and add our panda. I went ahead and put foam tape behind my banner, and we're going to ground him with the banner here. I think that looks so happy and so cheery. Now we're going to move along to step number 5, which means it's time to embellish. I'm going to bring my glazing glue in here, and we're going to go over our panda's eyes and also his tongue. We'll give that a little shine. And then for the hearts that he's holding, I got to bring in some of my diamond stickles. because we need a little bit of sparkle. Okay, we're just finishing up. The nice thing, if you go over the entire heart with diamond stickles, it takes away your fussy cutting mess, which is nice. And then that will finish off my card project today, using a few brand new Simon Hurley items that are just so much fun. Again, if you want to turn this into a birthday card, just switch out the Sending Sunshine and add happy birthday or let's party. But I thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for sticking with me to the end. I have 2 more videos that you guys might be interested here. If you guys are new and like the content that you see, click that subscribe button and also the notification bell. That way for future videos, be notified. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It sure does help the channel. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.